You have money but couldn't pay the grocery bill. This, like, help me pay the grocery bill. He says to me, no, babe, those are my savings. And I said, where do you think I was getting the money to pay for half of the groceries that weren't mine?
This is why doing 50-50 with a man will never benefit you. This is why I don't even see the reason why you should be doing 50-50 with a man. But a lot of people say, or some people say, there's no problem doing 50-50. They don't have a problem with it. It keeps their relationship going and it's fine. Well, this lady said she usually do 50-50 with a man until she saw a particular money with him and she asked, what money is this? And he said, it's my savings. Let me show you the video.
You can call me a gold digger all you want, but I used to only date 50-50 men. And my longest relationship ever was with a 50-50 man. And times were tough, but we were a team. And he stops being able to afford groceries. So before we used to go 50-50 on groceries, now he can't pay his half or he can't pay all his half. And I'm like, don't worry, babe. I got you. I'll pay for it this month and the next month and the next month. And it keeps getting lower and lower the amount he can pay. He's out with his friends. I've come home with the groceries. I'm cooking. I'm going to call and he's like, hey, I just ordered weed to the house. Can you go into my red backpack and pay the guy? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I go into the red backpack. $3,000 in cash. I said, babe, why do you have money but couldn't pay the grocery bill? This, like, help me pay the grocery bill. He says to me, no, babe, those are my savings. And I said, where do you think I was getting the money to pay for half of the groceries that weren't mine? I was taking them out of my savings. I didn't get to have savings for this team. And he goes, oh, I guess I never really thought about you in this situation. You didn't think about me. Yeah, now when men ask me to do 50-50,
He's saving for his future or whatever. He has savings. Why you do not have savings? Because you're putting all in the relationship. And now you're shocked because he has money to save. For you to have extra money to save, definitely he can pay the bills. But because you're paying it, it's gonna put the money elsewhere where it's important. Me, I usually say I cannot do 50-50 in a relationship because it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, if you're a man and you cannot pay bills, I don't know why you're in a relationship to start with. You have to go and make money to be able to be in a relationship with a woman. If you cannot pay a bill for yourself, you cannot take care of yourself alone. A man that is taking care of himself alone, that is taking care of himself alone, will not have a problem having having a woman in his life. It's not going to have a problem if the woman is not ever going to do 50-50. If you cannot take care of yourself alone, you're not living alone, you cannot pay rent, you're not paying bills, you're not doing anything. You just move from your parents' house to a marriage with a woman, you're definitely going to disturb your woman for 50-50 because paying rent is going to be difficult for you. But if you're a man a man that has been staying alone, have left his parents' place, has his own apartment, pay light bill, pay for this, cook, have eats, it pay bills, and it is just a normal thing for him. Those kind of men, I don't think they'll ask their woman for 50-50 because he's used to paying the bills, and why should he ask you to come and move into his house and now start sharing the bill? Most men like that will not ask you for 50-50 or for you to pay rent because it's a normal thing for them to pay rent. It's already part of them to pay rent. But you see the ones that move from their parents' house, from their mom, parents' house, that does everything for them, cook, clean, pay rent, all they do is just sleep and wake up. You see those ones, they will frustrate their woman because living alone or living with somebody that they have to be the one to pay, do most of the finances, is going to be a strange thing and they might not be able to adapt quickly.
you can call me a gold digger all you want, but I used to only date 50-50 men. And he stops being able to afford groceries. I go into the red backpack, $3,000 in cash. I said, babe, why do you have money but couldn't pay the grocery bill? This, like, help me pay the grocery bill. He says to me, no, babe, those are my savings. And
This is literally the boyfriend industrial complex in action. That's A.V. Perkins' original term. But I tell you all the time, if men are not spending their money on you, they're spending it on someone else. It's usually another woman, but sometimes it's them. Men enter relationships with 50-50 girlies to save their money. You are a financial strategy. And there were so many gems along the way. She said, oh, he stopped being able to afford the groceries. I buy groceries. I'm at home cooking. So he's getting free labor, a cash infusion because you're paying for everything. And what's he doing with his savings? Living his dream life. So she only found out about this wad of cash he had tucked away because he was out with his friends, probably having fun on her dime. And he's like, oh, I just ordered, Puff Puff from the spicy cabbage man. Can you go pay him? That's the first thing. I already would have been mad before I even saw Wad. You said you couldn't afford food, but you have money for spicy cabbage? Bitch, if you don't. And I'm guessing by the comfort level and the fact that she's cooking and they're buying groceries together, that they're living together, another fool's errand, Lord have mercy. But in this case, it's what opened her eyes. She found the wad and she's like, well, how do you have savings and you're telling me you can't afford the groceries? Where do you think I was getting my half of the grocery money from and your half as well? And he said, I guess I never really thought about you in the situation. He must have already been high because he messed around and told the truth. These men are never thinking about you. They don't want to live with you because they love you and they want to see your face every morning. They want an in-house labor source to help them save up their money so they can afford the woman or man that they really want. You are going to be the workhorse. So shout out to this woman for getting it together, and now she realizes she should be the one looking for the resources rather than handing them out. Good for you. And to anyone who's currently in this situation, realize men are always dating for advantage. It might be the social capital, having a beautiful woman on their arm, making themselves seem more appealing than they really are, more wealthy, more together, more accomplished, more successful. It might be the financial advantage. You're unwittingly playing sugar mama when you go 50-50. Because the other thing about that is men will lie. They will lie about how much they make or whatever. So you're not really paying 50-50. And even if you go 50-50 with a man, think about how much you're losing. The whole system is stacked against you as a woman. You make less and you're going 50-50 with a man, like, oh my God. Your grandmother is so ashamed. Your grandmother is like hurt. She sacrificed for this. And I want to be clear, while it is especially bad to live with a man before marriage, you should not be going 50-50 with him. The outcome isn't better and the odds don't change when you're doing all this within marriage. Do you know divorce is the greatest predictor of poverty for women? Because men are doing the same thing in marriage. They're spending 90% of their paycheck on the house while men spend 35%. They're stacking their money. Women are paying the big bills, doing the groceries and whatnot for the house, paying all the incidentals and the overhead. She's not going to get any financial credit for that in the divorce. She's going to be left without any savings while he's going to have enough stacked to start a new life. And he probably already started the new life while they were together because, they be out here cheating when they go to work. You need to make sure you have it together for you and your children. The XYs are a net negative. If you're not getting compensated up front for being in the relationship, don't be in it. Otherwise, you are better off alone. Love is not compensation. If it were, married women would not have worse health outcomes. They wouldn't have worse mental health outcomes. They wouldn't be doing worse by every single factor. If love was lifting you up where you belong, they wouldn't be more depressed, more anxious, more suicidal, and of course, far more likely to face homicide. If you're going to leave your singleness, it needs to be for a more advantageous situation, not one where you're doing way more work and somebody else is reaping all the benefit. When you go 50-50, you are paying to be a servant. And if you're supporting a man, kneel down and repent right now. It's not too late to change your life. You're just started. Do better. That's it. Like and follow for more.
The thing is, you can never vouch for any man. Okay, you don't know what he has. You don't know what he's doing. And any man that is telling you, let's split the bill, and is doing it with a lot of authority, and a lot of entitlement, forget it. He's gonna put his other half somewhere else, and he just wants to see you drain. He wants to make sure that you're on the same level with him, especially when he sees that you have a lot of money than him. He wants to make sure that you both of him are on the same level. He wants to make sure that your money finishes. And that's why he would say that with all authority. A real provider man, will even be ashamed to come and ask you for money, knowing that you might even be able to afford to do some certain things. He will be ashamed to come and ask you, and he will not feel entitled or want to, feel like one authority, like I have authority over you. You have to bring the 50-50. You have to bring out the 50%. I'll bring out the 50%. This is how it's supposed to be. I don't think a real provider will do that. A real provider will always want to see how they make sure that they provide 100. And if you're with a kind of man that provide 100, when he doesn't have, nobody's going to tell you to drop even 100 if you have. Okay, because you know the kind of man you have. But if you know your kind of man, you see some women, they have money, but they're not ever going to support their partner because they know that their partner is having authority over their money and he wants them to, share the bill or something. And it looks as if the woman is not supportive or anything. They know the kind of partner they have and they're not ready to split bills with him. Anyways, what is your take on this conversation? How would you feel knowing that you're splitting bills with your partner? For people that split bills with their partner, that feels like it's okay to split bills. You already know my stand about 50-50. I'm still standing on my ground. I don't do 50-50. I don't understand it. And it's not in my dictionary, okay? But it's okay for people that do it. It's fine if that works for you in your relationship. But just imagine you're doing 50-50 with your partner and you realize that it has some certain money, is even saving, and you don't even have savings. How will you feel? I'll be very hot. I'll be very hot, betrayed. In fact, that's going to be the last time I'm going to do any 50-50. That savings that you have, we're going to spend it to the night. We're going to finish it before we continue any finance, combination. What is your take on today's video? Kindly share your thoughts down in the comment section. Check out my Davis, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.